Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to the final edition of NoDQ&A video for 2014 here on NoDQ.com as well as the YouTube channel and NoDQ&A videos affiliate ringsidenews.com. Got your questions here from spring.me/Aaron Rift. Let's get started with the first one from Yellow Storm. Do you think that Seth Rollins will cash his Money in the Bank briefcase on Brock Lesnar and have Paul Heyman turn on Lesnar to become Rollins' manager? I think that it's unlikely that happens. I think that if Brock Lesnar turns babyface at some point, it will be after WrestleMania if he stays with the company. I don't see Brock Lesnar going babyface before WrestleMania. Now, my initial prediction was that Seth Rollins would cash in Money in the Bank after WrestleMania, cash it in on Roman Reigns, and the two of them would feud over the WWE title. But with Daniel Bryan back now and being part of the Royal Rumble, that throws a monkey wrench into the whole theory that Seth Rollins will cash in at a later date. Maybe WWE has a different plan. Maybe Seth Rollins will cash in at the Royal Rumble. I do think that once Brock Lesnar loses the WWE title, it might be a good idea to put Paul Heyman with Seth Rollins. Either if Lesnar goes babyface or if Lesnar leaves the company, you should definitely keep Paul Heyman around. So I would have Paul Heyman be aligned with Seth Rollins and let Seth Rollins be the top heel. I would definitely go with that. But as far as Rollins cashing in on Lesnar at the Royal Rumble, I think the odds are against it, but I would not rule it out completely. All right, this one comes from It Doesn't Matter. Hey Aaron, hope you're doing well. What do you think of Big Show's commentary on Raw? I think it was great. Do you think he should do full-time commentary once he retires? Thanks. I thought Big Show did a very good job on Raw, and I actually felt that the commentary was better with him there than without him being there. I felt that Big Show actually talked about the match, and he seemed into the commentary. It seemed like he was enjoying it. And I would have Big Show do commentary more often, and that's certainly a possibility once he retires for him to be a color commentator. I would be fine with that. I think that Big Show, is a very good talker, and I thought he added a lot to the commentary. So yeah, I really did enjoy Big Show on Raw, and I felt that he was the highlight of that match. I thought he was more entertaining than the match itself between Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. All right, this next one comes from Kane Yo-Yo for the win. Hey Aaron, what do you think about the Kevin Nash incident? Will WWE pull a CB on him? CB, I guess, means Chris Benoit. I felt that the Kevin Nash incident was a sad situation, and I think it just makes it all the more unfortunate because of the fact that Kevin Nash is a public figure and that his private life is being displayed for the whole world to see. I feel that really sucks for him and his family, but with that being said, I really hope that things work out for Kevin Nash and whatever happened, they can move past it. These things happen, but for most of us, if something like this happens, it isn't made public on TMZ and everybody knows about it. All right, this one comes from WWE fan Dark Arrow. Hey Aaron, what did you think of Dolph Ziggler topping Rolling Stone's Superstar of the Year list? I felt that by Rolling Stone doing that, it was a very smart move on their part. I think that somebody, Rolling Stone, realizes that Dolph Ziggler is really popular with the internet crowd, so why not do that to please those internet fans and, get them checking out Rolling Stone? I felt it was a very wise decision by them to name Dolph Ziggler the Superstar of the Year. I mean, that very good political move by them to try and win over some people and maybe get some new readers, new viewership, whatever, to their website and their magazine. So yeah, I felt that it was a wise move for them to do. And some people out there would argue for Dolph Ziggler being the Superstar of the Year, depending on what your criteria is. So yeah, I felt it was a good move. All right, this one comes from Hired Help. Hey Aaron, how goes it? I was curious to know what you thought of the Mighty Mouse gimmick WWE might put on Adrian Neville. I personally think it's going to ruin Adrian and make him a silly lower card character. Thanks, Dudeski. Well, right now, I feel it's way too soon to jump to any kind of conclusions. We haven't even seen Adrian Neville debut on the main roster yet, and just because there's talk and speculation about a possible gimmick for him, until he actually shows up on Raw with a gimmick, it's too early to say if it's the right decision or not. I really do hope that WWE doesn't have a repeat of the whole Adam Rose debacle. I hope that when they do bring Adrian Neville up to the main roster, that they take him more seriously and they give him a gimmick that will allow him to move up the ladder in WWE and not just be stuck in the lower card as a comedy act. So I hope WWE really learns from Adam Rose and they don't make the same mistake twice. Not getting my hopes up about it because it's WWE, but we'll see what happens with that, and hopefully they do give him a solid gimmick. And just because there's speculation doesn't mean he's going to come in and be a Mighty Mouse type character. And for all we know, they could give him some kind of cartoonish gimmick, and it could work. I mean, anything's possible. So, like I said, way too early to judge it, and we just have to wait and see what happens. But hopefully they do have a solid idea for him, and it will be a gimmick that gives him a chance to go far in WWE. All right, this next one comes from Slow Motion Man. Hey Aaron, why does WCW's finger poke of doom get frowned upon so much more than when WWE did the same thing previously, where Triple H won the European Championship from HBK with the same type of booking and a Raw main event? Well, I think that with the whole DX debacle on Raw, where they did the finger poke, or Triple H laid down for Shawn Michaels, the big difference is that it was the European title. It wasn't a title that was meant to be taken seriously. And while I will agree that by doing that, you devalued the European title, I mean, it wasn't all that important to begin with. It was the secondary title, even the third title after the IC title. So it wasn't as big of a deal as when WCW did the finger poke of doom with the World Heavyweight title. And, I've always talked about how I don't feel the finger poke of doom was as critical to WCW's downfall as a lot of people make it out to be. I think it was just months and months of bad booking in WCW. It was one thing after another. I mean, WCW was still getting solid ratings, and, the Super Bowl pay-per-view after the finger poke of doom still did a huge number. So there were still people that were invested in WCW after the finger poke of doom. I think a lot of people just looked down upon it so much because of the fact that it was hyped up as Goldberg versus Kevin Nash, and WCW tricked everyone and did the finger poke of doom, brought back the NWO again long after it had already gone stale. So it was just a sign that WCW had no real clue what to do to fight WWE. They were just going back to the past by reforming the NWO. And it was just one bad week of television after another in WCW after that I feel really led to WCW's downfall. So it wasn't just one incident. But why the finger poke of doom was looked down upon, I mean, the main reason would be because of the world title being a prop, essentially, and, devalued with that segment. All right, final question here today comes from Wrestling God 88. Hey Aaron, when Raw went to 3 hours, did you initially see the 3-hour Raw lasting as long as it did, or did you think it would be back to 2 hours by now? I honestly felt that the 3-hour Raw was going to be an experiment, and I figured maybe after a couple of months, WWE and USA Network would drop that idea and Raw would be back to 2 hours. I mean, once 6 months passed and WWE was still doing the 3 hours, I mean, it was pretty clear by then that it was going to stay at 3 hours, that Raw was not going to go back to 2 hours. And USA Network is satisfied with the 3-hour shows, and WWE's getting more money for that extra hour. So, from a financial standpoint, doesn't make sense to go back to 2 hours. But from a creative standpoint, 3 hours is too much. It's too long of a show. And I know people in WWE, they feel the same way, but when you're running a business and USA Network wants 3 hours, you have to give them 3 hours. So WWE has to go with that. They don't really have any other choice. And it's just too much television. With a 3-hour Raw, 2-hour SmackDown, then you got main event, superstars, and NXT. It's a lot of television every week, and it's definitely overkill. I feel that Raw would be a lot better off as a 2-hour show, but probably not going to happen anytime soon. So that'll wrap it up for this edition of No DQ&A video. Thanks as always for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already at youtube.com/NoDQCAW. Stay tuned to NoDQ.com for the very latest in WWE and TNA. And check out the NoDQ.com year-end award results, which will be posted on January 1st. And I will see you guys next time for more No DQ&A video.